Today's NSCAA Highlights and Rankings show is presented by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America, the world's largest soccer coaches organization. To learn more about the NSCAA, visit NSCAA.com. And if you love college soccer, we have you covered. So let's roll.
For Gator Vision and NSCAATV, I'm Shelby Granath. We kick off today's show at the University of Florida, where Becky Burley's Gators, ranked number 8 coming in, fell to number 19 Shelley Smith, South Carolina Gamecocks. Bay Daniels got things started for South Carolina in the 37th minute, but Savannah Jordan scored the equalizer for Florida right before halftime.
And Florida shoots and scores! Savannah Jordan cleans up the dirty laundry, and the Gators have equalized with 30 seconds to go in the half.
The score stayed knotted at 1 throughout the entire second half. Unfortunately for the Gators, Taylor Leach scored the game winner in the second overtime, giving the Gamecocks the 2-1 victory.
The comeback goal right before the half was big. To go into halftime tied, that was a great situation for us. I think what happened in the second half is we just let the game get away from us a little bit, didn't really play the way we'd like to play, and in the end it comes down to a set piece that they executed well. Give them credit for that. That player was dangerous on set pieces all game. She had a couple other good looks.
I think we got some work to do. I know definitely on set pieces. I know we got to get a little bit more organized on that, but I'm confident with our team, and I know we'll bounce back, and we just got to put it behind us.
Next up for Florida is Mississippi State this weekend.
We have an uphill battle, but we're certainly not out of it. We're just going to keep plugging away.
So from James G. Presley Stadium for Gator Vision and NSCAA-TV, let's send it over to Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill with Dean Linke.
And thank you, Shelby Granath, and also John Rubin, the good folks at the University of Florida and Gator Vision, for getting our program kicked off right. I am indeed Dean Linke, and we've got a huge show for you today. We'll take a look at Mark Krikorian and Florida State with a big come from behind over Boston College. We'll also get Tom Stone, the head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders, mic'd up, and he'll show all kinds of passion as he always does. Then we'll look at the NJCAA Division I powers of both men and women for Iowa Western Community College, 2 big-time programs that are both number 1. A little later on, we'll be joined by the head coach of the number 16 Elon Phoenix, Darren Powell. We'll take a visit with Jay Martin, the all-time winningest coach in college soccer on the men's side. 600+ victories for Jay Martin. He has been amazing. And then we'll go to NAIA and look at Montgomery College. That and so much more. But to kick it off, we'll start with the women, and I welcome in former goalkeeper of Wake Forest, Sari Rose. And Sari, I'll tell you what, the upsets are starting to roll in as conference play heats up.
Oh, it's been an amazing week across all conferences, from the Pac-12 to the SEC to the ACC, and I think there may be even more as the week progresses.
All right, let's take a look at some of the storylines we'll be covering today on this program, including a big upset. Stanford finally goes down.
Yeah, Stanford ends up losing after a 44-match win streak in conference play to Arizona State, 1-0. An amazing game. An amazing game that ended their 73-match home unbeaten streak. Just unbelievable effort by Arizona State against Stanford.
And Notre Dame also losing.
Notre Dame lost their first conference game in the ACC, upset to a tough Miami team, had to go down to Miami. It's a smaller field, hotter weather, real difficult for the Fighting Irish.
How about the Golden Gophers knocking off number 11 Penn State?
Penn State came in and had a great win against Wisconsin, but then just couldn't carry it over through the weekend and lost to Minnesota.
Goalkeeper Tara Hobbs with 7 saves. And how about St. John's sophomore Rachel Daly? She is singeing the nets.
Yeah, once again, we look at St. John, just unbelievable effort by the goalkeeper from England.
All right, let's take a look here now at the top 10 for Division I, and the Virginia Cavaliers, led by Steve Swanson, are dominant.
Yeah, UVA only had one game this weekend, but they were able to topple Clemson 3-0. They're going to have a huge test on Thursday versus number 9 Notre Dame, who's rebounding from that Miami loss. At number 6, Davy Nolan's Georgetown improves to 11-0-2 with solid wins over Butler and Providence in the new American East Conference.
Mark Krikorian's number 3 Florida State team already has another big win over the Tar Heels from UNC, but they needed to come from behind last week to beat Boston College.
An absolute thriller here in Tallahassee. A true tale of two halves. The Seminoles found themselves down 2-0 early on in the game after allowing Boston College to score their first goal in the soccer complex since 2009. The Seminoles crawled their way back in the second half and won this one 4-3. A real game to remember.
I think we came out with a little more fight. I think we really had a hold on the game, but we just, we weren't staying true to what we know. And in the second half, we really got the passes that we needed, and we were connecting and moving a lot more, and we just had to get shots off and get them on frame.
It was a pretty tough game. I feel like the second half we fought a lot, and yeah, I think we wanted more, and we ended up with a win.
I thought that in the first half, besides making a mental mistake or two, that we played some pretty good soccer. But against good teams, you can't make mistakes, and we paid the price twice. And then on the third goal, again, it was a breakdown on our part, great finish on their part, but we're not going to be able to survive if we continue to make mental mistakes. The good news is I thought that there was an awful lot of good soccer that went on through the course of the game, and some pretty good chances and some quality finishes.
Florida State soccer in general, we always fight no matter what, and we talked about it in the locker room. We're fine. There's no reason to freak out. Even though we're down, we're going to come back as a team.
Overall, when you look at it in the big picture, it's 3 points in the ACC against a good team. And we had to come back from a 2-0 deficit, which is not ever easy, and still find a way to win, which we were able to do.
This is a big thing. It touches many people's hearts. It touches our hearts. There's several people that we all know that have gone through breast cancer, and some survive, some not. But it's playing for people who can't. And it's really, we're out here to have fun, but we're also here to make a good cause.
It's fantastic. I mean, the crowd here in Tallahassee again was just great. I thought that the players out here with the pink shirts, obviously in support of breast cancer awareness and so on. My hope is that a lot of people watch the game and they're going to go on and bid for these jerseys and support this wonderful cause, and everyone do their part and see if we can all help.
A great win for the Seminoles, but a great cause that they've been supporting. These pink jerseys that the Seminoles have been wearing will be on auction right here at Seminoles.com. Make sure to bid on them. They'll be going for a great cause, the Sharon Ewan Walker Breast Health Center. The Seminoles will be on the road in a week. They'll travel up to Syracuse. Make sure you stay right here at Seminoles.com. We'll have your complete Seminole coverage. At the soccer complex, Jonathan Schlacey, Seminoles.com.
All right, thank you so much, Jonathan. As there is the top 10. Let's go to the 11 through 20 here and break that down as well, Sari, the 11 through 20.
And I think looking at the 11 through 20, we are going to talk about South Carolina, who upset Florida 2-1, but then they also went on to beat Tennessee 1-0, and sophomore Raina Johnson had the lone goal in that game to put the Gamecocks up. At number 16, Nikki Izzo's team's just been inching up. They're 9-2-2 and now 3-0 in the Big 12. The Mountaineers had a huge win over Baylor last week and then toppled Texas this weekend as well.
At number 15, Tom Stone has done an amazing job since arriving in Lubbock, Texas in 2007, leading the Red Raiders and Texas Tech. Reporter Courtney Davis mic'd up the passionate head coach.
There is no doubt in my mind that you are stronger today than you were a week ago. But we are now in the heat of the season. You should wake up every morning excited about the environment that we all find ourselves in. And remember, 5 years from now, who knows? 2 years ago, who knows? But right now, it is good. And you got a choice to make every single weekend. What's the feeling you want on Sunday night? Pay attention to the details. Janine, good job. That's that Valor Education. Play. 2, 3. Got it. And got hammered. You gotta like that. I think the players would say that it's a really intense environment. We don't really like them to be standing around much at all, move to the next exercise pretty quickly, be real efficient in training. I don't adhere to the philosophy that you have to hit 4 certain principles of each practice. We don't necessarily follow always the book on progressional practices, which a lot of people do, but there's always a topic, there's always, of course, a purpose, and we just ask the girls to be super intense while we're active. Give us their focus and get out, and sometimes that means practice an hour and 15 minutes, then so be it. On Thursdays, sometimes it's 60 minutes and we're gone. Late in the season, even our longer Tuesday practice could be an hour. It just depends on how much we accomplish, and they've kind of figured that out, So we usually have a pretty efficient, intense training. Come on, Beth, come on, Beth. Closer, closer, closer. That's it. Good, I like it. Nice, Beth. Yeah, I think it's certainly a culmination of the last 6 seasons of just, you know, you've got to instill confidence in the girls that you have. You can't tear them down and say, oh, why were you unsuccessful at this time or that time? You've got to make the ones you inherit the best that you can make them, and that usually starts with making them fitter. Because if you find a team that wasn't winning, usually they weren't very fit, they weren't very strong. Once they get stronger and fitter, they start to have some individual confidence, and the whole year you're trying to develop them technically. So now they're better on the ball, they're fitter, they're stronger, and then you say, okay, now what can we do with these new weapons that we've created from within? I would much rather coach the best players is obviously the most fun for coaches, but what I love is when other coaches will say, oh, it must be easy to coach that group. You know, I had a team in the pros that had several of the best players in the world. They're like, oh, that was easy, just roll the ball out. Of course, that's hilarious because those are the hardest teams to coach exactly because of what you said. The management of those personalities and those egos, and you've got a high school All-American coming off the bench. How do you keep her engaged? How do you keep her confident? How do you teach her that, look, to be on a big-time team, you got to come off the bench with a great player. You can't just have 11 great players. You got to have 20 or more. So you're exactly right. When you get a team with a lot of really good players that all expect to start and contribute, you've got to manage that group. Get in front of her, and then run over there asking for the ball. Way over here. Come on. Yeah. Come on. All we're doing is getting her the heck out of here. You can't run at her because she may release to you to go to the ball, but just run over here. She'll go with you. You know, what is there really to fear in a game that you're playing that you've trained hard for, you've prepared hard for? If you play your tail off as hard as you can, you shouldn't even fear losing because you got to walk up the field knowing that you gave them everything you had. And if you do, you're going to have a sense of growth and a sense of pride so that when you are ready, when you are fully prepared, when the team is stocked with enough talent, you're going to be ready to knock off those same teams. So whether we play a team that we feel like we're going to have an easy time with or a team that we know is going to require our 100% execution, fear just can't be a part of it. All right, let's break it down. Let's go. Go, Hags.
Tech on 3, 1, 2, 3, go Tech! Texas Tech will now hit the road as they face Oklahoma on Friday before rounding out the weekend at Baylor. For NSCAA TV, I am Courtney Davis.
All right, thank you, Courtney. And today's feature with Texas Tech and all the other interviews and features on this program are presented by Shattuck St. Mary's, a college prep boarding school with a full-time residential soccer center of excellence for boys and girls and a member of the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. We thank Jesse Fortney and Tim Carter from their beautiful Minnesota-based campus. To learn more, visit s-sm.org. Rolling on, the Final 5 here for Women Division I. At 21, it's Central Florida.
And then at 25, Kentucky improves to 4-1 in the SEC and 10-2-1 overall. Junior Stuart Pope has 9 goals and 3 assists, and sophomore Aaron Gillian has 4 goals and 8 assists for the Wildcats. And they've been on the cusp all week, or all season, but bumping again this week.
Francis Silva from West Virginia is your Disney Soccer NSCAA Player of the Week. A senior forward, Silva scored both goals in the Mountaineers' 2-1 win over Texas last Friday. She has 8 goals and 10 assists on the season, and with 31 career goals, she ranks number 6 in the WVU record book. Congratulations to Francis Silva, your Disney Soccer NSCAA Player of the Week. And today's NSCAA College Highlights and Rankings show is presented by Continental Tire. Continental Tire, innovative technology, driving confidence. Find out more at continentaltire.com. And this year's Women's College Cup will be down the road from our Continental Tire studios in Chapel Hill at the beautiful WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. It'll be a great venue with a great crowd. You can count on that.
There's a reason soccer is called the beautiful game. Experience it live at the 2013 NCAA Women's College Cup, December 6th and 8th at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. Affordable tickets now available at ncaa.com/Women's College Cup.
Hey, Miss C. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I just don't want you boys to be late for your big game. Okay, have fun. I'll be right here after the game.
Continental Tire, the official tire of Major League Soccer.
Tra-la-la, tra-la, tra-la. Pleasure.
Welcome back to the Continental Tire Studios here in Chapel Hill. Dean Linke along with Sari Rose, Division I covered for women. Now let's roll to Division II, Sari. And as we take a look at the top 10, a little bit of shuffling going on Division II women.
Yeah, a little bit of shuffling. Grand Valley State, Western Washington, and St. Rose are still your top 3. But let's look at the Lady Ore Diggers of Colorado School of Mines. They're going to jump up 2 spots to number 5 after dismantling New Mexico Highlands 3-0 in frigid 30-degree weather. The Colorado team extended their unbeaten streak to 23 games and had their 7th shutout of the season. Finally, Jay Entlick and Columbia State have eked their way back into the top 10 after dropping their first 2 games of the seasons. The Cougars have now won 7 out of 8.
Mallory Gertz from UW Parkside is your Disney Soccer Player of the Week. She's a freshman goalkeeper and had a 14-save weekend that included a pair of road shutouts at McKendree and Bellamar. She 10 starts this season. The freshman has tallied 5 shutouts. Rolling now to NCAA Division III and your new rankings that just came out.
Not much movement this week in the top 10. However, number 3 WashU had an impressive 1-0 win over Emory, who falls 8 spots as a result of that. And then at 10, Misericordia avenged their early week loss to number 6 Ithaca by trouncing Delaware Valley 8-0. The Cougars had 7 first-half goals, and junior Megan Mahoney had a hat trick within the first 26 minutes of that game.
Heidi Mann from Geneva College, a sophomore midfielder. Mann with a hat trick over the weekend after the first game of the week. She is your NCAA Division III Disney Soccer Player of the Week. And welcome to the Proving Ground. Disney Soccer provides elite athletes and their families a once-in-a-lifetime tournament travel experience. During our Disney Soccer Showcase, athletes have the opportunity to showcase their talents in front of the top college coaches from around the country. Teams who compete at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex will receive the first-class service that only Disney can offer, all while playing as a champion at the next level in the middle of the magic. From our youth tournaments such as Disney Cup International and Disney 3v3 Soccer Championships to our elite showcase events, there's a challenge for players of ages and skill levels. Join us and experience everything Disney Soccer has to offer, both on and off the field. And to apply for our showcase series or to learn more about our youth tournaments, please visit us at DisneySoccer.com. Rolling now to the NAIA, and Sari, big news in NAIA.
Less than 12 hours after the 4th installment of the NAIA Women's Soccer Coaches Top 25 poll was released, number 6 Westmont defeated newly crowned number 1 Vanguard 3-0. Then number 5 Northwood handed number 16 St. Thomas its first defeat of the season with a 3-2 overtime win Sunday afternoon, extending Northwood's regular season conference unbeaten streak to 30 straight matches. Jessica Martinez of Columbia leads all individuals with 19 goals this season. She owns 5 multiple goal performances in 13 matches, including a season-high 4 scores against Bryan on October 5th.
Well done, Jessica. Let's roll now to NJCAA Division III first. We're going to start with the Division III, and you take a look at it there. Cerritos College is your number 1 team, followed by Brookdale Community College.
And then at number 5, Finger Lakes Community College had their most prolific outing of the season, netting 6 goals versus Corning Community College. Freshman Britton Maggio had 5 goals and 2 assists for 12 points, which is the second most points in a game in school history.
Well, that leaves us only with NJCAA Division I, and Sari, it's all about the Iowa Western Community College Reavers. Sari, the River Pilots, that's what a Reaver is, by the way, are indeed amazing.
Dean, a few years ago, Iowa Western hired 2 young coaches for both the women's and men's jobs, and Brad Silvey has the Iowa Western women's team at number 1, and Jordan Carver has the Iowa Western men's team at number 1.
And Iowa Western's Chad Aune helps us get to know both programs up in Council Bluffs, Iowa, near the Missouri River.
Hi, I'm Chad Aune for NSCAATV. Iowa Western men's and women's soccer programs continue to strive for success in their 10th year of existence at the junior college level. Earlier this week, we had a chance to sit down separately with both head coaches, and here is what they had to say.
Well, the program here at Iowa Western is now entering its 10th season, and I've been fortunate enough to be around for all 10 seasons, and it's been a pretty exciting time to be a part of Iowa Western. In 2009, head coach Aune Bennett stepped down, and the athletic director here, Brenda Hampton, stepped in and asked if Jordan Carver and myself, Jordan Carver was also an assistant coach at the time, to step in for the positions that were going to be created. The programs were going to split. We were going to have a head coach for the men and a head coach for the women. And since that time, I think it's been an excellent step in the right direction in terms of helping the programs continue to develop and to grow and to improve and to gain the national recognition that we both have. Currently, the women's team is ranked number 2 in the NSCAA poll. We have a clear-cut mission in terms of goals and benchmarks that we want to meet throughout the season. I think the girls are very focused and very determined to make sure that we're hitting those marks this year. We have a very keen eye for conditioning and making sure that our girls are extremely fit. We don't want to be the team that's fading in the latter minutes of a game. We have a huge emphasis on fitness this season. The other thing that we did, I think, different from seasons past is we really focused a lot more on just pure talent and making sure that we were bringing in the top kids that we had to choose from. And so it's been a little bit different in terms of how we've gone about coaching, because we've had to identify players in positions once they've arrived instead of knowing specifically where we want them to play upon arrival. So that's been something a little bit unique, but I think in the long run it's going to pay its dividends. Head coach Jordan Carver, I've known the guy for quite some time. We were actually buddies prior to us both arriving out here in 2004 and playing together. And we've been fortunate enough to continue hanging out with each other for the last 10 to 12 years, and it's been extremely enjoyable.
It's been a very fun process for me to work with Brad Sylvie, and everything that he has stated prior is completely correct. And the relationship that the two of us have developed over the years has been very special, especially because we were players together. We got to know each other on that level, and then now as coaches and as we grow and learn to become better coaches, it's fun to see our growth and development there. Iowa Western men's soccer program is ranked number 1 in the NSCAA polls for the first time in program history. We feel that is an extreme honor. We are currently undefeated, 11 wins. I feel that this is a very strong, deep team. We have a well-balanced across the board, and I think you can sort of see that in how we score goals. And I hope that they continue to perform at the high level that they've been performing.
Each head coach has made 2 national tournament appearances during their careers. They'll be looking for a 3rd this year. For NSCAA TV, I'm Chad Aune.
Thank you so much, Chad, and what a power, Iowa Western. We start first with the men, actually. As you take a look at it there, they are number 1 in the country.
And then at number 4, Yavapai College improved to 13-0-2 this week with a 9-0 victory over Gateway. Michael Pantalone is the only head coach in the 25 years of the program. He's won 7 national championships, produced 8 MLS players, and 3 World Cup participants.
Yavapai, the home to Roger Espinoza, who now plays for Wigan over in England, led Ohio State to the national championship game. Justin Merrim from Michigan also played at Yavapai. Well, when you flip it to women Division I at the junior college, same team, Iowa Western Community College.
Yeah, and at Monroe College at 2 and Georgia Perimeter College at 8 are the only 2 unbeaten teams in the top 10 now that Paradise Valley has fallen from the first spot with a 2-1 loss to Scottsdale.
Wow, that was a lot of fun as we break down women's college soccer at all levels. We started, though, with the big upsets. Are those going to continue?
I think Thursday's game is going to be a huge one to watch. Virginia's number 1 in the country, but Notre Dame's coming off that Miami loss, and I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder and even more of a desire to beat the Cavaliers that night.
By the way, that game is now embedded into NSCAA TV, where you can check out the ACC digital network just by going to NSCAA TV. I want to thank Sari Rose for being with us. When we come back, a very special guest, the head coach of the number 16 Elon Phoenix, Darren Powell, will break down the top 25 and tell us all about the success of the Phoenix. That and more right here on the NSCAA TV weekly college highlights and ranking show. Don't go away, everybody.
The new fall flooring styles are here, and we've got them on sale now at Lumber Liquidators. Save on new hand-scraped and exotic hardwood, bamboo, laminate, and more. Choose from 53 floors under $2 a square foot. Don't wait. Sales going on now at Lumber Liquidators.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
The Inferno, known as the Elon Phoenix, walks away with their second title. Celebration for Elon.
Fresh off its first ever sweep of the Southern Conference regular season and tournament titles, the Elon men's soccer team is having its best start in 28 years. The Phoenix are 9-1-1 with head coach Darren Powell in his 9th season at the helm. Highlights so far include a 1-0 win at home against then-ranked number 9 Wake Forest, the Phoenix 3rd Street victory over the Demon Deacons. Elon also went unbeaten at the John Rainey Nike Invitational at Duke and captured the Hilton Garden Inn Classic tournament title at UNC Wilmington. The program saw its 300th win in a September shutout over Radford. Individual achievements have also added to the Phoenix success so far this season. Seniors Daniel Levitz and Matt Wesco, along with junior goalkeeper Nathan Dean, were named to the 2013 preseason All-SoCon teams. Dean's 6-save performance in the Wake Forest match earned him SoCon Player of the Week honors in September. Junior Jason Waterman holds the team best 6 scores on the year with a pair of multi-goal games. The Phoenix opened conference play with a win over App State this Saturday and look to continue their strong showing when they meet Wofford College this week on the road. For NSCAA TV, I'm Angela Padgett.
And we thank you, Angela Padgett, as well as Elon's SID Troy Sales, as the Phoenix, a small school located in Burlington, North Carolina, with just over 6,000 students, are now 9-1-1 and ranked number 16 on the season and looking for the 3rd consecutive trip to the NCAA tournament, led by head coach Darren Powell. You see what they have done in the Southern Conference the last few years. The Inferno, known as the Phoenix. I love that. And we are pleased to be joined by Darren Powell, the fine head coach of the Phoenix, here in studio. And Darren, delighted to be with you. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, we're delighted to have you, and you're showing already, and you've showed in the past that you're not afraid to play with the big boys. You already beat Wake Forest, UNC Wilmington. Your team's afraid of nobody.
I don't know about afraid of nobody, but the philosophy is simple. We just try and play as many good teams, and I think everybody we've played this year has been a very competitive game, and I'm sure there's many competitive games ahead of us, so we'll just try and play the best teams possible and do the best we can against them.
What makes Elon such a special place to go to school and to play soccer?
I don't know, I think there's lots of different things that make Elon special, but you know, the beautiful buildings, great classes, you know, we've got a lovely athletic complex where we can play at, but I think most of all it's the people that make it special, the people within the program, around the program. They certainly make the Elon a special place to be at.
You've got some special players on your team, including some leaders, some guys that are also putting the ball in the back of the net. Talk about a few of the guys that are starring this year.
Yeah, it's always hard to talk about individual players, but you know, sure. some of the guys, I think, you know, the whole squad this year has been very determined and you know, very focused and gets ready for every game, equally as important as each other. So, you know, but some of the guys that stood out, I mean, Nathan Dean's got a couple of accolades already in goal, made some tremendous saves. He seems to produce at least 1 or 2 good saves a game that you know, we now expect him to make those saves. So, but he produces some good moments there, as well as, you know, the back four have all done well. Nick Butterley, as a senior captain, has led the team well back there. Then further up the field, Charles and Miggy in midfield are working hard, as well as you know, the front 4 guys that have been able to score some goals for us.
Real good. Very quickly, a quick tip on the Southern Conference. You've won it the last couple of years. Talk about the SoCon.
Yeah, I think the Southern Conference is pretty typical of men's college soccer right now. I think, you know, all the games are very important, very tight, and you know, there's so much parity in the league. I think any of the teams, you know, I think right now all the teams probably think they've got a good opportunity to win the league. So we know every game is like a conference final, because there's only 6 matches in the league this year, so those points are very precious, and you know, we'll do our best job possible to try and get as many points in the league this year as we can.
All right, Coach, we're going to put you to work now as we break down the top 25, and we'll take a look first at the storylines we're covering this week, and it involves the #1 team in the country, Kevin Grimes' Cal Bears, taking on Washington in a huge Pac-12 game. Now California's 1, Washington's 3, and they tie 2 quality teams.
Yeah, both teams seem very good. Don't know much about the West Coast teams, but what we do know is all those games have been very close this year, and it seemed like a great game the other evening.
Another close game, #2 Notre Dame, Bobby Clark's team. By the way, his son coaches that Washington team. Beat Clemson, #17 Clemson, which will be in town tonight to take on the UNC Tar Heels. And Harrison Shipp had both goals. All of Shipp's 15 points are in their last 17 games. Your thoughts on Clemson?
Yeah, Clemson's got off to a great start this season. I think their only 2 losses are in the ACC, and obviously pushed Notre Dame to the wire, who are one of the top programs in the country.
Another West Coast team, #4 Cal State Northridge. They go on the road. They get 3 shutouts. They have another big week this week as they face Tim Vomsteeg's UCSB team and Paul Holiker's Cal Poly team. That will not be easy. And then in the Big Ten, your reigning national champion Indiana Hoosiers dropped a 4-6-1 with a 2-0 loss at home to Penn State. That just shows how tough it is out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Indiana's running into the fact that everyone knows they're the retaining national champions, so they're going to get everybody's best game every day, and I'm sure Coach Yeagley there is going to turn them around pretty quickly here.
Michigan State beat Northwestern in overtime 3-2 after Northwestern also lost to Bradley in overtime. But the Wildcats under Tim Lenahan are led by Joey Calistri. He's got 9 goals in 11 games, including 9 goals in his first 17 shots. So over 50%, he was putting him in the back of the net. Joey Calistri, the fantastic player from the Northwestern Wildcats. You see him there, and he is only a sophomore. All right, let's now roll to the top 10 and see who the #1 team in the country. Well, we know it's California, Notre Dame, Washington, Northridge, and then how about in the final 6 there, Maryland, UCLA, Creighton, UMBC, Georgetown, and UAB. Who do you like, Coach?
Well, I think there's going to be a big game. I think it's this evening. Maryland plays Notre Dame, so that'll sort some things out there. But Creighton, typically coached by Amar Bolovich, and one of our former assistants, Justin Hughes, is working with Creighton, so we know they're a very quality program. But I think the thing that jumps out to me, Dean, in that group is the name Bobby Clark with Notre Dame. His son at #3, and I believe Coach Weiss worked for several years with him at Georgetown. So I think Bobby Clark should be very proud of that top 10 this week.
Well said. Let's roll now to 11 through 20. And you see Louisville at 11, North Carolina with a lot of ties in ACC play at 12. Who else do you like?
Coastal Carolina, we've seen them several times over the past couple of years, and unfortunately for Elon, they beat us in those 4 games. So I know they're a quality team, quality program. Coach Docking does a great job with that group.
Right behind Coastal Carolina is Tim Lenahan's Northwestern Wildcats team. They have been amazing, but they suffered a heartbreaker against Jim DeRosa's Bradley in overtime.
Brandon Medina and the 5th-ranked Northwestern men's soccer team took on the Bradley Braves Wednesday night at Lakeside Field, looking to extend their 7-game win streak. But it was Bradley who struck first. Christian Okiki got the ball on the counter and slipped the ball by NU keeper Tyler Miller to give the Braves a 1-0 lead. Late in the first half, Mike Roberts, the freshman, had a chance to equalize, but his shot goes just wide of the post. It was 1-0 at the half in favor of Bradley. Bradley strikes again early in the second half. A long ball falls to Aaron Burke, who chips it over Tyler Miller for Bradley's second goal. 2-0 Braves at that point, but NU fought back. Just 3 minutes later, Brandon Medina misses with his left foot after beating a defender off the dribble. Nice move there. The Cats would finally get on the board in the 77th minute. Joey Calistri knocks in his 9th goal of the season after receiving a long pass from Connor Holloway. And Calistri wasn't done. At just 8 minutes later, he's on the end of a beautiful pass from Chris Ritter, and he does the rest to tie the game at 2 with under 6 minutes to play. The goal for Calistri was his 10th, one more than his total from last season. With the teams tied at 2, this game would go to overtime, and the Cats had some chances in the extra period. Calistri had a shot saved by Bradley goalie Brian Billings, but it falls right to Henry Harrell. He fires high, and the game would continue. Bradley took advantage of the opportunity. A few minutes later, Christian Okiki once again gets the ball outside the box and sends one into the upper left corner for the game winner. NU's win streak is snapped at 7 after falling to Bradley 3-2. The Cats are next in action Sunday as they play host to Michigan State.
Yeah, going up early, the first goal, which was a really good goal. I thought the guy, Christian Okiki, freshman, just got a central seam run and was able to finish it, and that took the edge off a little bit. Obviously, as good a team they are, and getting that second goal, which is kind of a typical Bradley goal, just a goal that got over their backs, and Aaron Burke did a great job of doing the legwork and the heavy lifting to get behind. And obviously, there's a reason they say it's the scariest lead in hockey or soccer, 2-0. And at that point, they sent everybody. They subbed off almost all of their backs and brought on all attacking players. And when they got that first one, they had plenty of time left, and I thought we defended well, but Calistri just got in behind us. He's so special. He just scored his 9th goal on the year, and once we got to overtime, I just talked to the guys at halftime or in between the overtime. Just talked about if we get a point out of here, that's okay. If we're 0-0, we would be happy, but we were 2-2. But the most important thing was to try to play in their end. If we could find one pass, we talked about. If we could find one pass, we might be able to find a second or a third. And I think just a great ball that I think Woj feathered through to Christian, and a great night for him to pick to score his first 2 regular season college goals, and just great resiliency for us. Win at UConn on the road, win here at they're number 4 in the RPI and whatever top 5 in the country. This says a lot about this team. We're certainly not the most talented team in the country, but we are one of the hardest working, and guys believe in our culture and identity. And a lot of dates, teams that beat you are better than you. But if you have your culture and identity, usually you can compete every night, and their resiliency is fantastic.
There's Northwestern now at number 14. I've got a problem with this system here, though, because we told you that Elon beat Wake Forest, but Wake Forest is at number 15. I tell you what, I don't think you care. You like seeing Elon at number 16, Coach?
Yeah, you look at those rankings, and to be in the top 20 teams in the country is very exciting for our players and administration at the school. But we know there's a long way to go in the season, and we'd like to see ourselves a little higher by the end of it.
I'll file that complaint for you then, nonetheless. All right, Clemson at 17, Michigan State at 18. And then how about the Dayton Flyers, the only unbeaten, untied team at Division I level? They are number 19 in the country. Let's get to know that program just a little bit better.
Up to this point in the season has really been based on foundation that we laid with work ethic, leadership, perception, and then some very talented student athletes here at Dayton. I think that we started working last spring and been on a mission, and the guys have done just a tremendous job, and they've been hungry to come into this season, and to go 10-0 in our non-conference schedule has been really a milestone for this program.
Coach really emphasized to just bring more numbers forward, and we started to do that. We started pressing high, winning the balls in good areas and trying to counter-attack quickly. And we're also lucky, we have so many different players who can score.
The fact that we have 11 international players has brought us really a whole new culture here. They've grown up with the game of soccer all their life, and to take them and mix them in with all of our players from across the United States has just been a real blessing for us, and it's given new insight to everything. So their experience, along with their different cultures, I think has brought us closer together as a team, and it's kind of exciting for everybody to be a part of.
We've all put so much work in this program. Like I said, we were a couple of years ago, this program wasn't a very good point, and we put the work in, leadership and just working hard for the community, our perception, just everything, putting in work ethic, and now we all brought it together, and all these seniors, very experienced, all loving it. We have the same goal, and because these 9 guys, they all put it in all together, the whole team is putting in. So it's great to play with these guys. We want to get better every game. We're 10-0, but there's still a lot of areas to improve. And I'd say from game 1, we've always said, "Hey guys, don't take it easy. Don't become complacent. Just keep working hard, and take that next little step." And I think we've done that. We started adapting. We're trying to play the way we can play and the way we're successful, and it's been very good. And in the end, it all comes down to we want to win a championship.
We now enter Atlantic 10 play. I think that our guys are prepared for this time. Our goal is to win a championship. They worked extremely hard over the last year and a half. It's a very senior-laden team, and we look forward to all the challenges ahead of us. And we know that we got to keep this going and keep winning, and that's hopefully what we can do.
Good work from Dayton. Now we roll to the final 5 here in our top 25. Who do you like, Coach?
I think all the teams are strong, but Butler, I know, will be, Coach Snape will be pretty pleased. They dropped a game midweek to Evansville, but then were able to bounce back and show a good response by beating DePaul at the weekend. So they've had a great start to the year.
Including an amazing come-from-behind victory over the reigning national champion Indiana Hoosiers. Dr. Dave Mazur's St. John's team is at 22, Virginia, UW Milwaukee, and Providence. One team getting votes, in fact they would be 27th if we went that far, is Tom McIntosh's team out in Tulsa. And guess what, folks, I'm going to go on the road tomorrow out to Tulsa for a big-time matchup between Tom McIntosh's Tulsa team and Jeremy Fishbein's New Mexico team. You can see it right here on NSCAA TV at 8 o'clock Eastern. And let me tell you, folks, they are ready for NSCAA TV out in Tulsa.
I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with the Tulsa men's soccer team ready to kick off with 19th year coach Tom McIntosh.
Coach, you're soaking wet. Your plate just doused you with water. You got your 200th win tonight. Tell us a little bit about what that means to you.
Oh gosh, it just means I've been here a long time.
McIntosh is only the 4th coach in the 33-year history of our Tulsa program and is the school's all-time winningest coach. On October 9th, here at the Hurricane Soccer and Track Stadium, we'll be rocking as we welcome New Mexico for a big matchup right here on NSCAATV.com. This year, the Golden Hurricane is led by Tulsa native Christian Mata. As of September 27th, he has scored 6 goals and adding 4 assists for a total of 16 points. Kyle Cummings has tallied 3 goals, while Tony Rocha, Akil Bartlett, Omar Mata, and Bryce Folensby have all netted 2 goals each. Leading Tulsa's defense is Byron Knowles Ramirez, a junior from Costa Rica, Tony Rocha, a junior from Spring, Texas, Quinn Stalker, a junior from Tulsa, and Bradley Bourgeois from Cypress, Texas. We can't wait for NSCAA TV to be here for the New Mexico-Tulsa matchup on October 9th. For NSCAA TV, I'm Jay Taylor.
All right, Jay Taylor, thank you so much. And our Division I Men Disney Soccer Player of the Week is Emil Ekblom from Syracuse. He had a hand in 4 of the Orange's 5 goals in the team's 5-0 pacing of NC State on Friday with 3 goals and an assist, the most points for any ACC player in a game this season. Congratulations to Emil. All right, so there you have it, Darren Powell. That was a lot to take in, but as you look at the top 25 and think about the parity, is it really anybody's race for a national championship this year? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know a lot about the West Coast teams myself personally, so they're obviously looking quite strong this year in the West Coast. But, you know, bottom line is I think every game is very tight and it's wide open this year. I don't think there's any team that's necessarily jumped out to be that spectacular team as maybe in years past. So, yeah, it's wide open, and I think a lot of college programs out there now will be working hard and trying to make sure you can make the postseason first and foremost, and then see where it takes you.
Well said. Well, we certainly enjoyed getting to know your program. Darren Powell, thanks so much for being with us here on the program. We certainly did enjoy it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and brought a few gifts for you. Troy Sales has fixed some nice little hat for yourself, and
there
Charlie
you go.
and
the Inferno,
Sarah.
right?
The Phoenix. The
there
Phoenix.
You go.
and for all your staff as well. But thank you for having us.
All right, my pleasure. He's Darren Powell, the head coach of the Elon Phoenix. I'm Dean Linke. We'll be back with more right here, including Charlie Slagle breaking down the rest of men's college soccer. Don't go away. It's the NSCAA College Highlights and Ranking Show right here on NSCAA TV.
There's a reason soccer's called the beautiful game. Experience it live at the 2013 NCAA Men's College Cup, December 13th and 15th at PPL Park in Philadelphia. Affordable tickets now available. Visit ncaa.com/Men's College Cup.
Tra-la-la, tra-la, tra-la, pleasure.
Welcome back to the Continental Tire Studios as part of the NSCAA College Highlights and Ranking Show. Dean Linke with you. I want to thank Sari Rose earlier. Then how about the head coach of the Elon Phoenix, Darren Powell, breaking down the top 25 Division I men, which included the number 16 Phoenix. Now it's time to get into the rest of men's college soccer. To do that, we welcome in the former longtime coach at Davidson and the top man for the Capital Area Soccer League. We're talking about Charlie Slagle. And Charlie, good to be with you. First of all, Darren Powell, what a job he's done at Elon.
Oh, great job at Elon. I announced the Southern Conference Finals last couple of years, and he has done a superb job. They're always in it. They are winning, and he does it very humbly, too.
Indeed. All right, let's go to Division II, though, and break it down and get you caught up on the new top 10 for NCAA Men Division II.
And let's highlight two of the teams that are moving into the top 10. Number 8, Rockhurst, the Hawks, coached by Anthony Toko. He's only got 626 wins in his 42 years there. Mark McGee, who is a senior from Evesham, England, third-time Conference Player of the Week. Last week they beat Truman State 2-1 and Quincy 2-0. Goalkeeper Ryan Bass, senior from Jackson, Missouri, has really been good in the back for them. And then also number 10, St. Leo. They had a win against Nova Southeastern 2-1. Chris Lavi and Max Geisthavel got the goals for them. And Keith Folk is in his third year. And he's been around with USSF and IMG and also University of Tampa.
All right, our Division II Disney Soccer Men's Player of the Week is Connor Gilmore. He is at Cedarville. The sophomore forward posted 14 points. That's 14 points on 7 goals in 2 of the 3 Yellow Jacket competitions last week. Congratulations to Connor Gilmore. And then your Division III Men Disney Soccer Player of the Week is Victor Araujo from Trinity in Texas. He's a junior midfielder, and Araujo scored a season-high 6 points to lead Trinity to a win over Colorado College on Sunday. Araujo had a hand in all 4 second-half goals, assisting on the game winner in the 49th minute. And let's take a look now at the Division III rankings here for men.
And I know we're going to cover Ohio Wesleyan, but Rutgers Camden got their first tie this year against College of New Jersey, 1-1. Mike Randall, Conference Player of the Week twice, senior goalkeeper from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Tim Oswald is the coach, 8th year, hit his 100th win this year, now has 108. And then, oh my gosh, by gosh, we got Wisconsin Oshkosh with 2 victories. They can move up from 13, 2-0 versus St. Norbert, 3-0 versus Augsburg, and 9-0 versus Finlandia. Tony Starnes has 5 goals. He's a sophomore from Lindenhurst, Illinois. Jordan Stanley from Green Bay has 4 goals. And Jan Nachtigali from Germany has 4 goals. Coach Witz Molinar in his 4th season with 47 wins.
He's got a long way to go to catch Ohio Wesleyan's head coach Jay Martin. They're again the #1 team in Division III, and on Friday they whipped up on Wittenberg 6-0. As part of the festivities, Friday night. They dedicated the J. Martin Soccer Complex, naming it after legendary and still active coach.
I'd like to welcome you to Roy Wright Field for tonight's formal dedication of the J. Martin Soccer Complex.
Martin is the winningest coach in the history of college men's soccer, breaking the all-time victories record in 2011 when Ohio Wesleyan won the 2011 national championship game, something they also did under Jay in 1998. Ohio Wesleyan holds the NCAA record with 35 Division III playoff appearances. In 2000, Martin received the Ohio Collegiate Soccer Association's prestigious Honor Award, and he would go on to receive the National Soccer Coaches Association of America's Honor Award in 2007. Let's spend 3 minutes with Ohio Wesleyan's iconic Jay Martin.
Field College in 1971 and moved to Europe and played professional basketball in Europe for over 4 years. And I was immersed in a soccer culture, living in Munich and then later Dusseldorf. And of course the World Cup, that was in 1971. The World Cup in Germany was in 1974. So I was swept up with this soccer thing, and I really got involved in it kind of emotionally, and I decided that I'll be a soccer coach. The best thing about Ohio Wesleyan is the students, and the students challenge me every day. I don't even consider what I do work. I look forward to coming up here every single day, working in the classroom with the students, working on the field with the students. It gives me a tremendous amount of satisfaction that I'm not sure I'd get anywhere else, to be honest with you. We try to, I think Ohio Wesleyan soccer is based on pride and tradition that we're trying to continue as we go forward. As you know, it gets more difficult every year to stay on top because everybody wants to knock you off, but that's our challenge. So I think it's the pride and the tradition of the program associated with a great academic experience. Champions, I think, are defined by an ability to do their best every single time they go on the field, whether it's practice or a game. That's what a champion does. That doesn't necessarily win every game, but gives, in the case of Ohio Wesleyan, his or her best all the time. And that's quite difficult to do. That's why there aren't that many champions around. I think the foundation is that it's our home, and I want the guys to take care of their home. We don't allow buildings and grounds to go up there and clean the bleachers. We clean the bleachers, we clean the locker room, we do our laundry, we set up and take down the goals, we move the dugouts, we water the field, and I'm trying to build a sense of humility with the guys. It's our place. Let's take care of it, and I think those little things help us on the field. A dream season for me would be a season in which we played at our best every single game. It was our first win. I came here under some controversy, and we started out 0-3-3 my first 6 games, and with very good players. It was difficult. So the first win that we had, a 9-4 victory over Cedarville College, is the one that I remember. It gave me a sigh of relief, and then I think we won like 12 or 13 straight after that. The Ohio Wesleyan soccer program is a family in all sense of the words. I'm still talking to alums from 1977 every year, and every time we have an alumni event, they come back and participate. It's just one big family.
And before we get to NAIA, I want to thank Jay's assistant coach at Ohio Wesleyan, Joe Machado, for helping make all of those videos possible, along with Mark Beckenbach and Bill Reynolds. And you do see the NAIA logo up there, Charlie. What happened last week?
Coach Jimmy Hampton is going for his 200th win on Tuesday, today, as Science and Arts of Oklahoma takes on John Brown of Arkansas. He would be the 18th active coach to reach the 200-win plateau and the 15th to do so while coaching at just one NAIA institution. Corbin from Oregon is 8-0-1, is the lone NAIA men's soccer team that remains unbeaten at this time. And 2 former NAIA players have been called up to their respective national teams for World Cup qualifying play. Michael Zira, who played 2 seasons for Lindsey Wilson and 2 seasons for Mobile in Alabama, is participating with the Ugandan national team. Deshaun Brown, who played 2 seasons for Mobile before transferring to Division I University of Central Florida, is competing with the Jamaican national team.
And the NAIA is the leader in character-driven intercollegiate athletics. The NAIA Champions of Character, the CFC program, was first established in 2001 and continues to evolve. The CFC program provides training for student athletes and professional development for coaches and staff. The 5 core values of integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership are put into play and accounted for at NAIA schools. To learn more, visit championsofcharacter.org. Time now to move to NJCAA Division III, as we already talked about the powerful Iowa Western program, but at Division III, Herkimer County Community College still there.
They're number 1, but we're going to highlight the 3 undefeated teams moving up from 15. De Anza College, they play Hartnell and San Francisco this week. And then Tompkins Cortland Community College out of upstate New York had a 1-1 tie with Jamestown this week, and they will play Corning and Finger Lakes. Andy Davis is the coach there. He got his 100th win this year. He has 107 total. And the other undefeated team is at number 9, Modesto Junior College.
How about Montgomery College Rockville, the number 2 team in the country at 11-1-0? And for more on that program, here's Michael Brown.
Hi, this is Michael Brown reporting for NSCAA TV. Under the leadership of head coach Pedro Braz, Montgomery College has built a powerhouse men's soccer program. Last season, in his first year as head coach, Braz led the Raptors to a second-place finish in the nation, as only an overtime goal kept them from winning the NJCAA Division III National Championship. And this year, they've picked up right where they left off. They're currently number 4 in the country with an 11-1 record.
So far, so good. It's early. We're only 12 games into the season. We still have about 9 to 10 games left. So things can change, but it's early, and so far, so good. It's a good start, being 11-1 and being one of the top teams in the country. So.
Co-captain Nick Castro feels this team is stronger than last year.
Well, the difference is that now we know each other. There's about 11 of us coming back, so we're pretty comfortable with each other. We know how to play.
And your offense, you guys are averaging 5.7 goals a game. You got a lot of weapons going for you on the offensive side of the ball.
I think we're actually the number 1 team in the country with goals scored, which is about 59 goals within 12 games. So it's pretty good. But one of our top forwards, actually our top forward with most goals, just broke his arm. So that kind of puts us back a little bit. We have guys coming off the bench that are taking that role and just stepping into it.
Your defense has also been outstanding. You're giving up just over 1 goal a game.
The defense side is where I take most of my pride. I was one of growing up, I was a defender myself. So we truly believe here in Montgomery College to where if they don't score, they don't win. So that's one thing that we try to emphasize a lot, to where we have to allow less goals every game. So we were averaging a goal a game. Maybe we can get a little less than that.
Now, Coach, I'm impressed with how aggressively you guys play out there on the pitch. Is this a team you think that's still smarting from last year's loss in the national championship game?
We have about 11 returners, so 11 returners definitely remember what happened last year, to where they lost in double overtime in the national championship. So they got a little chip in the shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, we know how it felt last year, and we definitely don't want that same feeling. So we've been working hard just to go back up to the nationals and this time take it all.
For NSCAA TV, I'm Michael Brown.
Thank you so much, Michael Brown. I also want to thank Tarlo Gask as well for helping putting that great piece together on Montgomery College. Dean Linke back with Charlie Slagle. And Charlie, whew, that was a big-time show. I love it so much as we get to learn so much about college soccer.
I learn something every day and do my research for mine and finding out what great soccer is being played all over. Dean, you do a great job of getting those interviews and having those people on, and you're finding out what the parity is, both in men's and women's soccer, but the features on some of these coaches and some of these teams is great.
Yeah, the students and the SIDs do a wonderful job as well. Guess what? We'll be right back here again next week for another edition of this program, the NSCAA Weekly College Highlights and Rankings Show, Tuesday, October 15th at 1 p.m. I can't wait, as next week we'll take a look at the top 5 goal scorers for men and women at Division I. That should be fun. Some quality players putting the ball in the back of the net. And we're going on the road tomorrow for a big matchup. Tom McIntosh's Tulsa team taking on Jeremy Fishbine's New Mexico team. And then a little over a week later, October 9th, Ken Lola's Louisville team against Ray Reed's UConn team. And then don't forget Duke and Wake Forest, John Kerr and Jay Vidovich. That coming to you next right here on NSCAA TV. So many people to thank, and it's been fantastic. Shelby Granith and John Rubin from Gator Vision, Jonathan Chalach from Florida State, Courtney Davis and Britton Drown from Texas Tech, Chad Aune at Iowa Western, Angela Padgett and Troy Sales at Elon, Ross Bedjienski from Dayton, Betsy Golomsky and Adam Musto from Northwestern, Bobby Parker from Bradley, Stephanie Hall and Jay Taylor from Tulsa, Ohio Westland's Joe Machado, Mark Beckenbach and Bill Reynolds, and Montgomery College's Michael Brown and Tarlo Gask. And then, of course, on our production side in NSCAA, the great staff in Kansas City, all of them, not just those that are listed there, led by Joe Cummings, the CEO. Everybody did a great job. Chris Burt, Rob Kehoe, Monique Bowman, Pat Madden, Kathleen Hermesh does a great job with the graphics. Kyle Lang, our director, Taylor Hoggart, our technical director. I want to thank UNC's new media, Sari Rose and Charlie Slagle. I'm Dean Linke saying it's been a blast, and this broadcast, of course, was presented by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America, the world's largest soccer coaches association. It's time to learn, participate, and belong. Learn more at NSCAA.com.